Election protection with an all-time high voter turnout. Local poll workers may have been at risk of contracting the coronavirus. Sharon Coe is here now to explain what Bexar County is doing to prevent a potential spread. Sharon?
Aaron, if you think about it, polling sites had thousands of voters come and go. While gloves, masks, and plexiglass were in place, there's still a threat. The Bexar County Elections Administrator Jackie Callanan shared at the start of the election that Judge Nelson Wolff said he promised he would keep poll workers safe. So next Monday and Tuesday, poll workers will be offered free coronavirus tests.
Met and dealt with 800,000 people in person. So we want to have them have the peace of mind, and we want to make sure that they have been protected.
More than 800 poll workers have already signed up to get tested. As for ballot counting, Bexar County is still going. They're getting through provisional and military ballots right now, but Callanan says it will not change the outcome. Deborah?
Well, we certainly appreciate them. Thank you, Sharon.